Welcome into All Things LA Real Estate. My name is PK Knoll. We are heading out to Eagle Rock for your October real estate update. Happy Halloween to everyone out there. Eagle Rock's an incredible spot for real estate. It's snug right in between Glendale and Pasadena on kind of that southwest side of Pasadena. Great area to live, great spot for families, good commercial areas, low crime. We're going to get into everything you need to know about the neighborhood, what's going on with the current numbers. We'll do some month over month, year over year. End of the video, I'm going to break down a few homes in the neighborhood that are up for sale and homes that have caught my eye, try and find you some value, let you know what's going on. Let's go. As we jump into the Eagle Rock neighborhood, it's one of the more popular spots. I kind of categorize it as tier 2, right? The most expensive neighborhoods are your Pasadenas, your Altadenas, your La Cañada. Even Silver Lake is probably tier 1 in that regard, where Eagle Rock kind of falls into that next tier. And I really take that basis off what the average home prices look like in the neighborhood. But it's an incredible spot if you can get into the neighborhood. A lot of very suburban kind of neighborhood areas there that really are homely, good spots for family. There's 22 homes available in the neighborhood currently. 5 of those 22 homes have seen price drops, so 22% there, which is actually kind of low, believe it or not. If you follow along with some of these other East Side neighborhood videos, a lot of neighborhoods are seeing 30 and 40% price drops, but we're just not getting the big pushes that are going to be catalysts toward price drop out in Eagle Rock. Not much available under $1 million. In fact, only one home. Minimum price to get in the neighborhood right now is $960K. We're going to break down that home in the last segment, so stick around for that. Top end right now, this is a home that's very familiar to us. We've been following along month after month. $2.999 million. Average homes available for sale is 1.658, 858. That number is a little bit higher than what you're going to see from the average sale price. That high ticket 299 is obviously bringing up the price. Our days on market is 36, which is one of the better numbers on the east side. So what that tells me is if I'm somebody who's looking in Eagle Rock, homes are going off the market. They're not sitting for longer durations. We are seeing a lot. Most neighborhoods on the east side edge toward that 60-day mark. That 60-day mark is kind of the catalyst that we pay attention to a ton on this channel, where if you get to 60 days, you start to see more price drops from sellers because no one wants to sit for 2 months trying to sell their home. But Eagle Rock is staying at a real healthy 36 right now, which is why we're only at 22% when it comes to the price drops. When we take a quick peek into October of 2022, so last year at this time, 17 homes sold, 103% clip. So on average, 3% over that list price. That's a number, a metric you need to pay attention to if you're a home buyer or a home seller. If you're a home buyer, it gives you some insight to where your offer should come in. If you're a home seller, that's one of the metrics that can really tier you to understand if you're getting appreciation on your home. October of 2022 is not going to be the number you look at. You're going to look at last month. Let's do that now. As we jump into the numbers from last month, we've kind of been on a real roller coaster ride in Eagle Rock. A couple months back, I had some major concerns. Then we turned things around. We got a little dip again. And now the numbers are kind of being more positive in regards to things that we look for specifically, which is what is numbers driven, what tells us what's going on. We did have 17 homes sell last month, so not bad for Eagle Rock, 108% clip. So on average, those homes sold for 8% over the list price. So what that means is people have been searching in Eagle Rock, and we've seen that number progress up over the past couple months. We were 3%, last month 6%, and then we jumped to 8% over that list price. Why is that number important if I'm a home buyer? Is I focus in on that number. I know that's the average. Homes are going above the list price. So when a new home comes onto the market, a home that's going to be very attractive, I'm going to probably have the perspective that I got to offer 8% over that list price. So if it's $1 million house, I know I got to come in for 1.08, on that home to get, an opportunity to actually get accepted. Like I said, that's a metric. If I'm a homeowner in Eagle Rock, there's a bunch of different things that factor in. Obviously, the market decides your home value, but one of the metrics is obviously this number because it gives you an understanding of where homes are selling. Because most people are going to list the home in comparison to the other sales in the neighborhood, and that obviously is what dictates the market. So you're probably going to get some appreciation out in Eagle Rock this year, which is always a good thing, especially if you bought your house before 2021, because you probably got a ton of equity. The minimum sale last month was $735K. That home sold right at the list price, needed a ton of work. You're typically never going to be able to get into Eagle Rock anymore for $700K. So if you see a home in the 700s, 600, 800s, it's probably a home that needs a ton of work or has, a couple red flags that are going to make you put in some cash as soon as you make that purchase. We did have a sale on the top end at 2.650. It sold for $151K over the list price. So about 2% over the list, about 3% over the list price on that home right there. So we are getting some action above the $2 million mark. That is one thing that has been consistent throughout the East Side, is these high ticket priced homes are really not getting the offers. You look at Lock and Yada, their days on market has jumped up over 90. It's just a reality that people can't finance at 7.38 or 7.5 or 8%, whatever your rate is currently when you're watching this video, in such a high ticket price. So you're really trying to attract cash buyers, which is about 33% of the market right now. But that's basically where we're at. Our average home sale price is staying very consistent in Eagle Rock month over month. Right, last month it was 1.338,500. So we're staying in that 1.3 range consistently out in Eagle Rock. Days on market for the homes is sold with 16 days. You're going to normally see a number between 15 and 30. So 16 is great. When we take a peek into September of 2022, we had 15 homes sell, 104% clip, so 4% on average above that list price last September. That is a 13% increase year over year, which is pretty good. We'll take any increases at this point. Obviously, the end of 2022 wasn't a crazy great market also, so it's not something we're getting flabbergasted and excited about too much, but the reality is any type of increase is good. We're seeing neighborhoods that are losing 50, 60, and in fact, in Mount Washington, a neighboring neighborhood, they had 0 sales in September. So any type of increase, any type of movement is good for the neighborhood, for the homeowners. But let's jump over, check out some homes, see if we can find some value, and do homes that have caught my eye. Homes that have caught my eye. So here's what we're going to do here. We're going to break down the entry level. What's the floor to get into the neighborhood in Eagle Rock? Then we're going to do PK's top pick. That is always going to be a value play. I want to find you a home where the numbers are telling me it's a good deal, especially with where rates are right now. You need to find a home that has strong probability of continuing to appreciate, because you can't buy a house that's going to depreciate, go underwater on your loan, have trouble. It's a mess. So I'm going to find you a value play, and then we're going to talk about the top end. What's the ceiling look like in the neighborhood? I try to stay positive in this segment as much as I can, specifically because I'm not trying to hurt anyone, trying to sell their home. That doesn't always happen, but we're going to get into it right now. Let's start off with the entry level. We're going to first recap last month. It was the 6006 Eucalyptus. That was that $670K home. It is pending. So that was that hoarder home. I am honestly shocked that it went off the market, but realistically, we talked about this, $670 to get into Eagle Rock is just, unconceivable. So this home needed a ton of work. It is pending. I'm going to keep you updated on it because we are seeing a record number of pending and under contract homes fall through in escrow. My advice, if you're a home buyer and you got qualified months ago and you're still looking, make sure you recheck with your lender before you start to put in offers, because you don't want to have to go through all of the process of getting your offer accepted, going through everything that it takes to purchase a home, and then it falling out in escrow because you don't qualify, because rates have jumped since that point. But we're going to keep our eye on that one. But there's a new low right now. We only have one home available in the neighborhood under $1 million. It's 4427 Alumni Avenue. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1179 square feet. As I mentioned earlier, it's listed for the $960K, $814 per square foot. That number is good. I'm fine with $700, $800 as far as a per square footage number when it's under $1 million and the house is quality. The lot's not huge, 2803, it's fine. But this is a California bungalow. It was rebuilt in 2019, which is great. Gets all that headaches out of the way. One thing, especially if you're kind of a hedge buyer, somebody who's just being able to barely afford getting into a home, buying some of these older homes. A lot of homes in Los Angeles were built in the 1920s, 1930s. You get a house that was rebuilt in 2019, you have less probability of having to do a lot of repairs and updates once you move in. Now, anybody who's ever owned a home will tell you that things are going to go wrong. It's just a reality. So you better have at least 10 grand on the side waiting for that first mistake. But it sits right off kind of by Occidental College, if you're familiar with that area. There is a back studio as well that could possibly be transitioned into an ADU. So maybe bring in some supplemental income to help pay down, the mortgage payment there. If I look at comps here, we had a 21812. So 300 less square feet, one less bedroom, two less bathrooms. It sold for 1.110. So that kind of tells me where the market's at with this. I expect this home to sell. I expect this home to sell over the list price, probably at least 1.05 on this home. They listed it probably at 960 with the perspective that they're going to get so many more eyes being under $1 million in Eagle Rock when no one else is. So we'll keep you updated next month. Subscribe to the channel if you want to continue along and find out what's going on. Let's jump over to PK's top pick. Last month, do want to mention 5012 Ontario Way. It was a 1.199 home. It was that beautiful home. We love the 588 per square foot number. There was just a lot of good metrics for this home. It is also pending, so we'll keep our eye on it. Same thing kind of applies. Just because it's pending doesn't mean it's gone forever, but we'll see what happens with this one. We anticipated it was going to get offers. We anticipated it was going to go early. We anticipated it's going to go over the list price, and all of those things seem to be coming to fruition. But for this month, we're going to jump over to 4030 Lock Haven Avenue. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1617 square feet. It's listed for 1.399, 888. So we're right in that average home sale price range for the neighborhood, which I love. $865 per square foot. Love that for a home in the $1.4 million range. The lot is huge for Eagle Rock as far as what's available in the market at 7211. So you get a lot of outside opportunity. It's a mid-century home, completely updated and beautiful. One of the main attractions to me is just some of the comps in the neighborhood. If you look at it, there was a 3.3 1979. So it does have 300 square feet more than what we're dealing with here. It sold for 1.835. So over 400K more than this home is valued at. And those are the type of things that tell me that I have a good substance for appreciation with this home if I can get it somewhere around the list price. But I would anticipate at least 6% over this list price if we go off the averages we've seen in Eagle Rock, especially for homes that are nice. There's also a home available for sale, a 3.2 1965. So once again, we got an extra bathroom, but they got 300 square feet, which drastically matters. That home is listed for 1.499. So it's 100K more. So we're going to keep our eye on that one. But another substance, another piece to the puzzle that lets us know that this price is, not only priced correctly, but I know that this home is in good position. You don't want to buy the nicest house in the neighborhood because if things start to drop, it has the biggest, basically floor to drop down. When you're buying that mid-tier, when you're buying the average home price, you kind of follow the market. In the Eagle Rock, that's a good thing to follow. Let's finish things off with the top dog. So the top dog in the neighborhood, the 2.999 is 5217 Dahlia Drive. If you want to learn about this home, go check out the September real estate update for Eagle Rock because we went over it. It's that one with the mulch volleyball court. We had some concerns, mostly from the standpoint that we've only had one sale in Eagle Rock above 2.9. And that home that sold above 2.9, if you remember, and this will come to the house that we're going to get to as well, it was a new build. So it was a brand new home where the Dahlia home is actually built in 1933. So it's a little bit dated. And the home that sold for 2.9 previously was a brand new build, beautiful house. So something to keep in mind. We anticipated this home might sit, not because we didn't really love it, not because the numbers were terrible. It's just a reality, like I mentioned earlier, of where the market is on that top end and just kind of looking at the Eagle Rock, market in general. But we'll go to the next tier to not be repetitive. We're going to go to 4861 Wyoda Street, 4 bedrooms, 5 bath, 2648 square feet. This one's listed for 2.625. So a little bit relief off the very top end. We did have a sale last month for 2.65. So there are some people looking in the market here. $991 per square foot. I talked about the 700 to 800 in the previous homes. When you get to the top end, you're typically going to see things around $1,000 per square foot, especially if the home is updated and nice. The lot size is pretty solid here too, a 6495. It's got like 11-foot ceilings indoor, which always are a huge attraction, makes the house look so much nicer. It sits kind of south of Colorado, west of Figueroa, if you're familiar with the area in Eagle Rock. Great little neighborhoods over there. Only one sale above 2 million in that neighborhood. As I mentioned, only one sale in all of Eagle Rock above 2.9. So that's where this home might run into a little bit of issues. I'd be a little bit surprised if it just jumps off the market immediately, but we will see. Like I said, we did have a 2.65 sell last month in Eagle Rock, so there might be some potential for this one to get some of those lingering individuals, because that home that sold for 151K over the list price, right? So assuming there was multiple bids on that home, there's probably a few other people in this price range generally who were looking in Eagle Rock, so there might be some attraction. We'll keep you posted next month, so follow along for that. Thank you so much for watching the video. We do this every single month for almost every neighborhood on the east side. We're doing Pasadena, Silver Lake, Eagle Rock, Highland Park, Glendale, La Cañada, El Sereno, Cypress Park. The list goes on and on. So like and subscribe to the channel if you are so inclined. If you're somebody who's looking to purchase a home on the east side of Los Angeles or sell your home, I am happy to help out with you. Reach out to me. You can send me a direct message online, or all of my phone numbers are listed. Even if you're somebody who's hesitant with 7% interest rates, that puts us in the same boat. It always helps to start preparing for future opportunities, because you don't want to miss the boat there. We will tread lightly. We will look for value. We will get it done. I also do a ton of other videos. I get into the schools. I get into, the restaurants in the neighborhood. I get into the attractions in the neighborhood. I do some other fun videos like quick cribs. So once again, like and subscribe if you are so inclined. Have a great day. Be kind.